Never fails. Never fails. Right before I decide to click the button, I get those butterflies a little bit, get a little nervous. So I made the obvious decision to come here because I decided, and I was thinking to myself, I only really know much about the creep squad, crack squad, or the legitimate, sincere creakers that are just sad about the events from YouTube. So a lot of the clips that I've seen in general are on the Instagrams. That's as I understand it from all my time on YouTube, aside from Discords and all that, which of course left a bad taste in my mouth from my personal experience. It just seemed to be the way to meet up at what's up, Maxwell? I caught you in the comments after the last live. I didn't see you during the live. So apologies for that, but salute. Good to see you, man. I don't want to make this too much of a regular thing, but right now it's just fresh in my mind. And today just so happened to be a day off. Tomorrow's another day, but yeah, I'm not. I got a little bit of a bone here that I'm gonna keep on chewing. See what's up, C Files. Good to see you, G. Nah, not oh boy, but I went on the Instagram, and by the way, I found one of your comments there, C Files. Looks like that your comment is getting more traction than the dude who's should be on my screen. And let me check just that, because I'm an old man, okay, and I barely remember, but Pepperidge Farms remembers how to use StreamYard, let alone OBS. So this video I started to watch on my phone. And oh yeah, there's C-Files right there, the guy in the chat. Okay. Also, I'm not gonna. I'm clout chasing off you, C-Files, or no. Let me take the upchurch approach, C-Files. If I see you on another cable news network streaming service without my permission, or I don't get a cut, we gonna have some problems. Okay, I'm gonna be doing whapping and make some. I'm gonna spit those bars, and then I'm gonna take you to court because you didn't cut me in the profits because we made a undisclosed contractual agreement that I only formulated in my head. So you better stop making your own moves, man. You better come right here with that monies first. So here, look, here's C-Fellas, and he's speaking very earnestly here. When did you become such a prick? Church. You used to be one of us, just a small town dude with a dream day job. Now you're the kid who's bragging about owning the park, and this is a direct quote from I think the video, if I recall, and being important enough to have a gate and guards, which is so true. Throwing temper tantrums and canceling tours just like an entitled 80s rock star. Did you have to do the 80s like that, bro? No, no. It's disappointing to say the least. Get some help, man. And I don't even mean rehab. If you need it, do that too. But please go talk to a therapist, psychiatrist. You got some shit to work out, and I don't want to see another Chris Benoit. I don't think that was. Honestly, that's not. That wasn't even a roasting. That's just genuine concern. And how did the churchman take it? Well, it wasn't a kind gesture, and I'll leave it at CFLs ended up getting. This shit doesn't matter, but let's just take the whole sphere of public opinion. CFLs is just the guy that's in the comments thread. His comment gets the 60 likes, and Church's response gets the 20. Anyway, let's do reacting. Oh, okay. Hold on, I'm kind of new to the whole using Instagram on the computer. You remember? So, and I'm also a guy that plays the boomer. Oh, this is gonna be embarrassing if I can't figure it out live. Pressure's on, pressure's on. That was the Calhoun man. Oh, and I listened to his rap song for the first time of Up Church Go to Sleep or something. That was a banger. But then again, I heard Church recently made one himself. Oh God, don't tell me I'm going to have to use my phone instead. You know what? Fuck it. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, and also, and here I actually have it open. I went on a couple of lives today. Here we go. This is what it's gonna have to be. Getting in innovative here. Hold on, I got this. Y'all been doing more than drinking blood or something, man. You know how many people's lives you tried to ruin? You know. Say it again for lives ruin. The speech is impeccable. Lives All right, real quick. Now to that, even though this is not the way I wanted to do the reacting, but we don't get sad, we move on, right? He's not even addressing the merit and the substance that Adam Calhoun is trying to explain. Like, hey man, you tried to ruin a lot of lives, and Upchurch is not even responding to that. He's just doing that weird baby talk, as Krupp likes to put it, which is just a super bizarre way to deflect and not actually address. It's not even allegations, it's things that we've seen. And yes, it's something that bothers me. Well, since I can't properly react to this, which is okay, I want to talk about, since I brought up Captain Kurt Reacts, and I said my piece about it, but he, to his credit, he did a live today. Mr. Captain Kurt, the one who I gave my piece about that I never held the ill will, and I don't want any terrible things to happen to him, but I did not forget. We don't forget things or the people that had an impact on us. We move on, we grow, so on and so forth. And maybe this was his best move. When I went to his channel today, I was curious. I'm sure everybody was, that's in regarding this whole situation, right? And he just did his usual react to the last Upchurch song. What's up, Crystal? Good to see you, sweetheart. And it's incredibly strange. Okay, first off, I thought Ryan Upchurch decided to retire, right? Or did he just say that for the sake of? And here's what I've established in terms of a strategy when it comes to PR when he doesn't have a PR team. He stirs the pot as much as possible and gains that traction, gains that momentum. So is he saying that in a desperate plea to get his career back in traction? And I started to get in my own conspiracy thoughts. Oh, don't sue me. So apparently, allegedly, he's gotten back in touch with his mother and they're all good. I think I heard of a clip where they're like hugging or something, and that he's like, look, my mother's back in my life and things are good. And then there's a lot of hearsay going around, something regarding that something regarding houses. Like, everybody that spoke about this on the platform is being super careful, and apparently this is stuff that's being talked about in the back streets. It's inevitable that it's going to be breaking and all over the place. It's going to be slop tube all over again. So here's a theory I'm generating, and I'm not pretending to know anything better than anybody else, and I'm not thinking like this or about this for the sake of just being mean. It's just a genuine thought. Would this be plausible? I don't know any standing case regarding Upchurch. I did some research before I got online personally regarding the Rodney case. What's up, Actions? Good to see you, G. Regarding, on the phone, I was able to do better research, finding court documents until the point where it asks for a pay. Hold on. Here's Maxwell with breaking news. And then Steve making fun of me for messing up. Yeah, man, I'm doing the thing. I couldn't get the IG to play on here. I don't know why. His mom supposedly stole a bunch of money and bought houses for people. That's what you're talking about. I'm trying to recall. I remember what he was saying. You know what? Here. Oh, here's a comment that I wanted to read from the last live I did. I got overwhelming positive responses, and thank you to everybody regarding that. And to shit, man. Remember, I have to be true. I don't care about public opinion, but I'm grateful when it's kind or people understand. However, I'm gonna give just a little shout out and credit to Dagburn. I just went. He watched the live and commented. I went on his. All I really see him being guilty of, if you want to use that term, is not wanting to see Upchurch completely fall. Like, he doesn't want him to be destroyed, and that's massively empathetic coming from the guy who, as I recall, in the past 4 or so years, was very angry at the community bred by Ryan Upchurch and Creek Squad and all of that, and they did a lot to him. And I don't think he pretends in any shape or form to be innocent. He's not, and neither am I, and neither are you, or anybody else on this fucking planet. So, like, I think that takes a little bit of moxie. That takes some balls, you know. So yeah, my shout out there, and my shout out to PBR. 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I'd be too afraid to say these names on a live stream because of how I was indoctrinated, and when I was given the rules of how to play Creek Squad and get paid, you know. And it's crazy that, remember, I don't have to remind people of shit, but I didn't ask for anything, but I clearly played the game, and it worked in my favor, and I benefited. Accountability taken. This comment, though, oh, this is a whopper, and we're going to get into that soon. But first, while I'm here, let me check old boy out right quick. Let me see one of his videos. If any strangers like that last video I did using one of his clips tries to copyright strike me again, only to lose in like 8 seconds. All right, where was it? Is this something? What is even this right here? Oh, I was going to look for the housing stuff. That might be too deep in the lore of Creek Squad to find, but here's what I recall, and that's the whole... Man, I'm sorry I got so spinned around real quick. I remember the allegations that Upchurch was making against his mother, or if you were to believe his side, you know, the or her side, I should say, she was the victim here, and she owned, like, he gave her the power of attorney over all the things he was doing, and then he was alleging that there was houses in her name that he had no knowledge about. Maxwell, what you commented regarding her just buying houses for people, I had never heard that until this very moment, but apparently all well and good. And by the way, I want to make it clear, because I noticed, remember all those years ago when I was hopping around all the chats, right? Patty was extremely kind to me every single time that I was up on a panel with her. So I don't have it in me to say anything bad. That doesn't mean I'm biased. I'd absolutely call her out if I could see the evidence of her doing something that was absolutely morally, reprehensible and or illegal, or both, whatever the case. But I don't know if you... I mean, thank you for subscribing, Patty. I think I've tried to reach you a couple times. I think the last thing I remember is talking about palm readings with you. I just hope you're doing well. And that's really all. And I hope things get better for you and your family, regardless of everything. Okay. So I couldn't react to what I wanted to initially. What is this, even, real quick? Let me check.
Stupid. Motherfucker, Nashville's getting busted for sex trafficking right now, and you the only motherfucker that's been around here with your goddamn friends not doing anything.
Okay, this is 2 weeks ago, so that's like 6 years ago in YouTube time. Is he trying to get into another court case? I don't even know. See, this is the problem. This is irresponsible of me to jump into anything without doing my research and being just 100% real. I came in ready to react to something that I can't get the damn audio to play. I'm just not going to do it. Instead, you know what? I wasn't trying to be the main part of this live, but let me go back. Ryan Upchurch, this is the reason. That video that I was going to react to, which is where you don't pay attention to any of the important bits of what Calhoun has tried to say to you. And what makes it even more devastating to me is that for years he tried to do things in real life. And, when he says this is what you wanted, it literally is. You forced him to go into the court of public opinion, and here we are. I heard your recent song was a banger, though, so I guess congratulations. Maybe that's the quickest retirement I've ever seen. So here's one to me, all right? Like, looking at this in not such a black and white way, I understand to a degree. All right, this is a nice fella right here. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at. It is a comment on my last live, and my apologies. I'm all over the place a little bit. All right, so here we go. From this fella right here. All I could tell is that he's a trucker and he's definitely a hardcore Upchurch fan, and he's one of those fans who, in my opinion, is going to be the reason that Ryan Upchurch doesn't learn and doesn't change because of people like this. And this is one of the examples of the dangers of speaking so recklessly. And like what I was about to, I was going to jump into something I wasn't prepared for, react to it, and I'd have no context. So really, I'd only help to make myself look even more like a fool. Look, any of us that are live or try to be, public figures to any degree, which is I'm not even half of that, we're gonna look like a fool. So just strap in and get ready to take your L's. So here's what he said. All right, and I could not get to the end of the Rodney files that I found regarding the case. I don't know if I have to ask for any FOIAs, but I went as far as I could, and it seems to stop at late 2023. There was like 36 different motions. So here's what this fella says. First of all, I would like to say one thing. I haven't finished watching the video. You probably should have, but hey, I'm just as guilty as you. But this comment is necessary. I'm strapped in. I'm ready, son. Regarding Ryan Upchurch and his true crime, just because news media tells you something happens does not mean that it happened. Sherlock. No shit. I know. 100% we're aligned right here. We all learned that the last 4 years. You just learned that in the last 4 years? Bro, I know, like, hey, all due respect, trunking is an important and hard job, but clearly you have not been watching the news, or you would have learned that lesson such a long time ago. Okay, second of all, Upchurch stated he just wanted someone to prove the girl was real. Oh, God. See, shame on you, man. Not shame on you for having an opinion, but you don't even have to rely on the mainstream media at this point. All right, I did my own digging. We have resources. You have this machine that's capable of capturing time. And no, you're not going to go and find this girl's like birth certificate, which he ascertains in this comment is somewhat necessary. Dude, they had a whole case regarding this, in of which apparently in the court he admitted, let me not get this wrong, he admitted that he was real and doubles down on the whole Alex Jones kind of style of, I'm a character online. Well, could have fooled me. I mean, you certainly are, but could have fooled me. All right, so Ryan Upchurch went on a panel with a man from that town who said he was a private investigator working for the family. Okay, that doesn't take accountability away from anything or anyone. Did you know that man could not provide the information to prove that person was real? Bro, you're really stuck in the past here. I mean, look at me talking about this case, but somebody that has not taken accountability or apologized to me, that's reprehensible, and it's a sign of a lack of growth. That's not something that I'm going to celebrate. No birth certificate, no yearbook with a picture, no picture of this girl. Do you want the grieving family to upload all this for your satisfaction? There was plenty of pictures of her. How deep would this have to be for one case? I trust me, man. I get the allure. Remember, for 4 months, I got caught up in this crap shit, and then I even went and took a trip down memory lane and saw my own videos as I was like all in and invested and calling everything a conspiracy. And then I started asking questions, and then there went the world turning upside down on me. Okay, now after hearing all this, it would also make you wonder, is this girl really real? She's real, dude. She's real. Okay? Don't want to take it from me. Do your own damn research like I did. Sadly, I felt I need to do that because I actually wanted to share a post or something to not shut you down, but to share information so you could retain it and learn it and make a better decision. It's easy to just take the side of, I trust nothing. I understand that sentiment wholeheartedly, but this is the kind of PR that Upchurch has, and this is going to keep dragging him down. Unless he just shuts up on YouTube and solely focuses on the music. Because that last rap song that I listened to for a sliver, a few seconds on Captain Kurt React's channel, And to no shock, he did not respond to being blocked. Oh, Captain Kirk, like, if you're going for just being best friend of the year, simp of the year, like, I don't want to see you suffer either. I'm sure you're stressing a little bit yourself. You know, whatever the case, though, for some level of self respect, I would have at least hoped you would have said something in turn, even if it was you taking the higher road. Okay, all right. Let me shut the hell up for a second, which is the opposite purpose of being on a live stream with a microphone in my face. Yes, also by someone saying they are family of the alleged girl. Oh yeah, and I sued this. Now, yes, he did get sued, but it was by another YouTuber for slander. That would be Icked Mail. Separate case, by the way. But what do you want to bet? I bet that case does not make it to court. If I wanted to go on Google and search it again, I'd prove you wrong in 5 freaking seconds. But that's not why I came on here. And I'm totally freestyling, because then it will go to discovery, and I'm willing to bet they don't want it to go that far, because then somebody is going to be proven right. Yeah, that GoFundMe is a scam, and the family invented their daughter, granddaughter, whatever the case. They did all of that to make a few $1,000s off of GoFundMe, and to only so reading the court files that I did, the Upchurch team tried to allege that he was attacking GoFundMe singularly, and that the implication of the Rodney family was not intentional. I don't need to play videos back. If you were there, you were there. If you've seen the videos, you've seen the videos. Okay, people still think like this. Is this just because of the pride and the ego where you don't want to change your mind, or it's echo chambers? I think this man is pretty solitary. So it's just he's that invested in not wanting to be wrong for himself and his own pride, is my theory. So I'm sorry I didn't agree when it was first said. So I went and looked, and I have lower enforcement experience. Lower? Okay, all right. Out of respect, I'm gonna take the higher road myself, and not make any joke lower enforcement experience like lap dancing, like go no. I'm sorry. That was towards the words, and it was not intended for you, the user. I was going after your comments, not you personally, sir, and your respectful lower enforcement. Lower report. Okay, all right. So anything down low, right? That must have been a short career if it was all on the down low. You must like playing Little John, Get Low. I think I'm running out of material. I can't get it with lower enforcement. Okay. All right. Shake it off, man. I could not find any evidence anywhere of that name of any person in that town. Well, your lower enforcement experience did not serve you, sir. You should have looked higher. Stop it. So I would like to see the case go to court. I did. I want to see discovery myself. Okay, I don't know. However you're going to go about that, I'm sure it's available, because I now need to see that the person was real. That right there, you see, we can't control how information is spread because we all have that lovely First Amendment. So we can't control how other people take it intelligently or not, make it something bigger, small, whatever the case. This is harmful. This is where I was hoping for accountability from someone as large on the YouTube streets, specifically as Ryan Upchurch. ACAL is right in his rap saying that, Upchurch, you're just on YouTube. That's your world. That's what it appears to be from my perspective. Seemingly not to want to do much in real life. Talking about, like, see, Fowls and your own words say, you're not important enough to have gates and a guard. What a terrible flex. How far you've fallen from your working class roots, or the days when you did the vines, when you were in your construction garb, man. Like that was one of the worst looks you could have given. You're not important enough to have gates or a guard. Ha. Nah. Okay. I could not. Okay. Here's the last two sentences. So I would like to say, no, here's the last one. After Joe Biden and the media, I no longer trust anything we see on TV. It took you Joe Biden o'clock to realize we can't trust the mainstream media. All right, so that's it. I guess, if you rely on YouTube celebrities to tell you about true crime, therein lies the problem. So I don't know how much blame actually needs to get shifted to Upchurch, but he was damn reckless as hell, and he lost the Icked Mail case for a reason. I could not find the final determination of the court documents myself. I'm sure there's others that know way more than I do, but there was a lot of attempts from the defense in this case to dismiss, and that judge, the magistrate, just was not having it whatsoever. Okay, what's up, Karmas? Good to see you. Welcome, by the way. Hello, Calvin. Hello, everybody. So, I mean, that I once again thank you for bearing with me because I came on here to do a freaking react to an Instagram, but apparently only works on my phone. And yeah, this has just been something that's been plaguing my mind for a little bit. It's not living rent free and hurting my feelings or anything, but what does bother me is the lack of a man taking accountability when he knows he damn well should, unless he's that zonked out in his mind. I don't pray for his downfall, but I do hope for him to see the light. And if it takes falling down and hitting your rock bottom, like a lot of your detractors and fans to this day are saying, on the Instagram, which was crazy, the one where he, I'm not going to say slandered, where he just totally shit on Deerdorf, right? His best friend. Couldn't believe my eyes. And just in case you didn't see it for yourself, I'm sure you did. Where is it? This is it right here, right? He turned off the comments. So he has to know. He has to be somewhat aware. It would be impossible unless he was just that high, and I don't know that he is that high. I just know the pupils look crazy. He cannot be just that unaware that he's lost the people. He just can't. Sorry, I'm looking at so on and so forth, and just the audio thing is still bugging me, but he turned off the comments. There was thousands of comments there, and he knew it's a bad look. But that is some freaking moxie, there's that word again, of still leaving the video that caused the rift in your own fan base and taking away their means to reach out to you. That's the equivalent of going la 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 la. And that's a reminder to me of how you seem to be dealing with arguments. You know what? Here's something that is not blocked from me. This is not what I wanted to do, but I can't rely on Instagram on my PC. I can on sorry, all right. See, I can't even think and do this at the same time anymore. I'm too old for this shit, man. All right, can I find his reaction on this sucker? Oh no, he doesn't do live shit. Or is he another one that uses Instagram? Why do you have to follow Instagram for the beefs, man? What about good old fashioned YouTube? Don't forget us over here. I don't know. I can't sit here and lie and pretend that I'm a huge ACAL fan, but I like a couple of songs that I heard. No, I'm not gonna bother just searching and coming up with nothing. I'll just paraphrase since the gift of gab is what I got. The way he puts it to Upchurch and says, "Look, man, everything I did was to try to handle this like man to man." And what is Upchurch's response? Let me go on social media and drag all of these people that have united. Ryan Upchurch missed a hell of an opportunity if he would have apologized and gone in with these people. I understand the pride perhaps of wanting to be an independent everything forever. No man is an island, though. You don't have to get the corporations involved, but you can absolutely have these relationships with other successful people. It's not a bad look at all. And you can't tell me that you're beyond that because you have your own. Like Hoosier, apparently you guys were rivals once back in the day, and now you made music. Fantastic. Look at the list of people, as Calhoun said, who you tried to ruin, and that was an opportunity on that Instagram video of yours, that short. It should have been a proper live stream where you had everything active and just take things in at real time. You had an opportunity there as well, where he says, look at how many people's lives you tried to ruin. and thankfully I was a very small part of that. But you had an entire ass community trying and doing things at your bidding. Another thing, just off of sheer memory, I don't have to go back and play it for you because we all should remember this. Because when people with the ability to reach large numbers misuse any form of power, remember, it can be intimidating to anybody with a smaller platform. This is the thing that I've quoted a couple times. Good guys, good gals, go find out what that man was doing. That's to a community of 3 million people that look at you like you are the golden god of everything. Can you not have the hindsight? I would have asked for foresight back then, but at this point, can't you look back at just one thing like that and just say, "Yep, I get it. I've grown and I'll do better." But instead, this whole like Krupp from Bloodhound Nation calls it baby talk. I guess it used to be funny when you were a teenager making the vines and stuff on your come up days. The whole blah 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 blah. I'm doing whapping, whapping, wascally wabbit. You're a grown ass man. You're a father. You're not talking to your baby when you're talking to your audience. Stop taking the people's intelligence for granted. Yes, I know there's a bunch of special ones out there, but please, man, don't keep on showing us evidence of how out of touch you have become. Because more than insulting, it's heartbreaking. And it's the worst look that any successful artist or celebrity could ever have. You're not important, quote and unquote. You're not important enough to have gates or guards. Nothing says I am so out of touch more than those words to me. Okay, until anything of like interest actually comes up, I'm going to drop off of this shit for a good minute. Shit is going crazy in the world, fam. I'll be honest. Iran and Israel. This is my bread and butter normally, but for this, the Creek Squad shit is something that's forever going to be a part of my life. I'm the one that needs to absolutely make the steps to let it go entirely. But just what can I say without trying to sound like a victim? Because I'm not a fucking victim. I'm fortunate. I'm blessed. I'm thankful that everything that happened the way it did. No matter how tortured I felt in the moment, no matter how annoyed at every stranger's call, every blocked call, every threat and text message, every channel of people that I thought were my friend and came in because at the time I was riding a high and they knew they could get some of that high by joining me, went live when I wasn't around, only to talk about ending my life. I haven't forgotten. I have forgiven. And the one person that out of all of these people that I'm alluding to, Rachel, yes, Rachel, I'm still fucking hurt by that because you were such a ride or die. And I remember I spent like 4 hours with you on the phone because you were so afraid to go on your own on somebody else's channel that had a higher subscriber count than you. I spent that time listening to you cry and pumping you up full of courage before you went on there. And then when the moment I did the thing, which was apologizing to another grown-ass man because I didn't like that somebody came on my channel and said, call CPS and take his family away. And I went and apologized. The second that it was opportune to turn on me, you, bitch, you did the exact thing that I never thought another human being would do. And oh my God, the internet was eye-opening, and that's why I'm thankful. She went onto another panel with multiple people that I called friend at that time. They were my new family, all talking about how they wanted to take me out. Control, delete my ass. And back then, it was absolutely terrifying because this was all localized and heartbreaking. But I wouldn't change it for the fucking world. I am stronger as a result. Now I am gonna remember. I read every comment when it uploads. Sadly, I wish I could just read them all tonight, but as it stands, I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. So that's the ass crack of dawn, and do this new amazing job that I have. And it's important that it's labor. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get toned up in this motherfucker. You give me about 2 months, you're gonna start seeing muscle on this guy right here. And Crystal, if you're still here, sweetheart, sincerely, I wish you all the best. You're a survivor. You've become an accomplished and published writer. Crystal, by the way, is somebody I dated back in like 1997, and it's amazing. That's what's special about the internet. I wish we could focus on all these beautiful things. This was a cliche line I used to use back in the day when I took the term progressive patriot to heart, even though now I hate the term progressive, except for like my position on healthcare. The things that unify us make us so much more wonderful and give us so much more potential. We're capable of so much more if we could just focus on those things, and the things that divide us, actually have discussions and take accountability for what we think, feel, and say. We could do so much better together. But as it stands, sadly, and I see a comment just loosely sitting up there. Hold on, I see it here. IG beef. Yeah, that's IG back in the day when I was taking content creation seriously. Instagram was a beautiful place where content creators got together to arrange collaborations. Now it seems to be the place to go to when you want to follow up on the stuff that you can't quite get on YouTube. So YouTube or some smart asshole will have the bright idea. I should have had it first. Let me congregate all of the content that people are starving for on YouTube from Instagram and just make a channel called fans and just put it all here, and I'll get the monetization money. I'm glad I'm not rich. I know that's probably the dumbest thing that I've ever said. And you know what? There's a part of me that's saying, you're lying to yourself and you're lying to all these people. But from all the people I've seen, I mean, more money, more problems. I don't know. You know what? Let me not fully divest into that. Let me not fully invest into that statement. But I'm saying that in terms of just, if you fuck up and you're rich, it seems like the consequences are so much broader, so much stronger. And my life has been a challenge and an obstacle in and of itself that I think I'm okay. I'm content. For the first time in my life, I can say I'm content. I'm not the wealthiest guy, and that's okay. I'm not living check to check, though, and I like working hard, and I appreciate being on here and having a voice. This is my catharsis. I said fuck the therapy years ago. God knows that I need it. I found my own God that I can pray to. And you good people that have been here with me from the get, I am so blessed. And for that blessing, I cannot thank you enough. All right. And now I've learned from Penguins, one of the biggest YouTubers on here, to just abruptly go, all right, see ya. Take care, guys. God bless. And remember, focus on the things that unify and work your ass off, because nothing comes easy or free.